What's up, guys? Today we have a very different review here for the channel. You guys are used to primarily Star Wars and maybe some ideas in creator, but rarely do we take a look at Harry Potter sets. And today we have one of the most exciting Harry Potter sets I've been able to build in such a long time. Thank you to LEGO for sending an early copy of the brand new LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Icons Collection Edition. This is essentially an awesome UCS Ultimate Collector Series set for those of you who want to put it in Star Wars terms for Harry Potter. This comes with 3,010 pieces, recommended for age 18 and up. This is set number 76391. Now, some of you may know or may not know, Harry Potter has played an equal role in my childhood and my development as a Star Wars, and Harry Potter is one of those things that I just love. So I was super happy when I got a review offer from Lan that said Harry Potter. I wasn't necessarily expecting it, and I didn't know at all what the set was going to be. So of course, taking a look at the set very briefly here, you'll notice there are several different iconic items, animals, accessories, and other things from Harry Potter that I'm sure if you guys are fans and have seen the movies and or read the books, you guys will definitely acknowledge. So there are over half a dozen accessories and iconic items here in the set. Now, what's really cool is that the instructions actually tell you what each icon is. So of course, you'll open the instructions and you'll see all the different sets and history about the set itself and all the designers and everything like that. But it'll also show you all the different icons that are included in this set. Now, there are, I believe, 10 different individual iconic items that you build in the set. And what's also super cool is that each icon in the instruction manual has a little bit of an info page so you can read up about the specific item that you just built, which is super cool. Now, although this item is definitely for display and not really for your playing value, it does also come with some minifigures that are following the same golden 20th anniversary icon edition minifigures that we've been seeing in the recent Harry Potter sets, which is super cool. But before we go ahead and get on into any of the brick build stuff or the minifigures, let's jump to a time lapse of the build starting right now. So I'd say after about 5-ish or 6 hours, we finally have a completed version of the Hogwarts icon set. Now, when I got the offer for this set, I looked up frantically what this was supposed to be, and there was a rumor it was going to be the chess set, but obviously that had come out already, and then there were rumors that it was going to be sort of this buildable figure icon set, and that really did hit the mark. And I gotta say, this set is amazing. As a diehard Harry Potter fan, I have nothing but great things to say about this. Now, the set will retail on September 2nd for $249.99, which I actually believe wholeheartedly is a very fair price for the amount of stuff that you get. So there's a great reason why we have this instruction manual and why it says everything. This is really good for me because sometimes I forget where certain things come from. So we're going to go through all the iconic items that you built in the set in order in which you build them. We're going to talk a little bit about what they are, where they come from, and yeah, everything like that. So first off, of course, we have Harry Potter's glasses, Harry's glasses, as they're officially called in the instructions. Probably one of the more iconic items in all of the Harry Potter series. Now, as a fellow glasses wearer, I can tell these look pretty darn good. We do have some big circle pieces. Unfortunately, there are no transparent pieces in the middle to represent the glasses themselves. Although, admittedly, that would have been really hard, and I don't even think that's possible with these pieces. But you can see here the rest is made up by Technic pins and different joints. You have a long Technic axle forming the longer parts of the glasses, and then as you move towards the back, you have this sort of long horn piece which goes behind the ear. Now, fair warning, I have a huge head, so this might not look amazing, but I mean, they get the job done. It is a little flimsy, although I can't really see anything. I am nearsighted, so I have no idea if my camera is even unfocused on my face right now. But I will tell you, they definitely did a good job with this. I think it looks super cool, and of course, one of the most famous spells you know from the glasses, if you watch the movie, is Oculus Reparo, which is super cool. Harry always gets his glasses screwed up just like me, so maybe I'm Harry Potter in an alternate world. And now the next one we have is a little potion vial of liquid luck. This is also known as Felix Felicis. This is something I believe we saw in the Half-Blood Prince that they pretended to give to Ron before his Quidditch game, although they didn't actually put it in there, so he was just sort of high off of his own energy. So Lego went with this sort of like whitish slash, I want to say almost like a glow-in-the-dark piece that doesn't glow in the dark. It looks super cool. It's a nice color, and of course you have the different cones and slopes to make the vial itself. On the very top here, you have the transparent pieces on the very top to sort of represent the part that you would open up, drink it down, and stuff like that. On the very front, there is a sticker that does say Felix Felicis, which does look super cool. And the next one here actually connects to the base of the display. This is Harry's wand. This was a really interesting construction. I actually like the way Lego did this. So basically, there are two different colors that we see here. On the handle, we have this sort of more dark brown color, and as we go towards the shaft of the wand and the pointy end, we do have reddish brown, which does look super cool. Now, the handle uses a lot of these slope pieces, which help to represent that sort of circular angle, and it fits really well in your hand. And you can hit it, it's not really going to break, which is nice. This construction inside is super tight, and on the very bottom here, you have a Technic ball, which does connect to the Technic hinge piece on the book. Now, the rest of the wand uses a bunch of different pieces, such as tiles and regular plates. The wand looks really rugged, which is nice. It is a wooden wand in the movie, so of course, you don't want it to look super smooth or unrealistic, so Lego did a pretty good job using different pieces to represent different imperfections in the wand, which is super cool, and it does have a nice little swish and flick to it, which is cool. So I'll put that back on here again. It just connects sort of to the base of the display, and there you go. So the next icon that we have here is at the very base of everything, and I'll move this out of the way so you guys get a little bit of a better view here. At the very bottom, we do have Tom Riddle's diary. This is one of the first Horcruxes that we come across in the Harry Potter series. I almost said episode 2, like a Star Wars nerd, from the Chamber of Secrets. It's a really cool scene. Now, if my memory is correct, this was actually slipped into Ginny Weasley's cauldron when they're shopping for stuff in the beginning of Chamber of Secrets. But besides the point, let's talk about the build itself. Now, like I said, the build actually structures as the foundation for everything. So there's a giant Technic beam that goes from the base of the book all the way up to pretty much where Hedwig's feet are. So this is going to serve as the entire base for everything that we build, and we kind of add on to it as the build goes. Of course, the outside of the book is lined with not only the gold pieces on the corners, but of course the black tiles to represent the exterior of Tom Riddle's diary. And then the pages are represented by this sort of tan color using pretty much all tile, which looks really, really good. And again, it does serve as the foundation for everything that we get to build up from there, and is super cool. Now, the next two books on the shelf here aren't icons. They're actually just random textbooks, if you will. Not all of them have a specific name or representation. In Harry Potter, you can sort of use your imagination that these red and blue books are sort of just like random textbooks, maybe the equivalent of your math book or your English book for those of you who are in school. So nothing really too crazy about those, but they do add a height to the build, which is super cool. Now, the next icon in the set, arguably the most iconic and the best looking in the set, is Hedwig. Now, LEGO has made a recent Hedwig for $40, and this thing obviously just crushes it out of the park with the detail. Now, granted, this thing probably has hundreds of more pieces in the Hedwig, but let's take a look. First thing first, the head does swivel, which is nice. So, of course, it is a display set, but you do have some functionality to it, which looks really good. I'm absolutely in love with the way LEGO decided to do the feathers. Basically, each of these feather sections are their own piece, and they connect by a Technic joint to the main body of Hedwig. So you can actually move it freely and sort of impose it however you like, which is great. So, of course, each of these feathers is their own piece. Now, of course, during the build process, that does get a little tedious, but it looks super cool. Of course, when you see the different textures and details on the wings themselves, the feathers, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, you'll see here the main component of Hedwig is utilizing a lot of different slope pieces, especially some of these larger pieces that are very expensive, especially in white. So if you guys are mock builders or just getting this set for the parts, there's a lot of good stuff here in the Hedwig. Now, as you move down, you'll see the feet and the legs. Now, these guys are attached again by Technic joints, and they actually move up and down so you can claw it to the letter, which is something we'll get to in just a little bit. But overall, the Hedwig is massive. The wingspan is longer than the set combined, which is super cool, and literally it takes your breath away at how detailed it is. And it obviously, at least in my opinion, is the main part of the set, and it's the one that stands out the most. And I think the detail was absolutely nailed by the LEGO team, and I'm really happy with how this guy came out. Now, right next to Hedwig on the side here, you guys might be able to see we have a little gold ball. That is the Snitch. That is the golden Snitch from the Quidditch games. Now, the Snitch is so iconic and so important in many different respects. Of course, it's the Snitch that Harry gets in his first Quidditch game. The Snitch was actually a really interesting build. Of course, you basically started with this one Lego piece that had studs on every side, and you kind of built up around that. And of course, you guys have the 2x2 circular plates that are in gold, and they sort of represent and form this ball that is the golden Snitch. And you have some of these longer air balloon pieces. If you guys remember some of the Friends, I think it was a Friends hot air balloon that came with these pieces exactly, but just a different color. So overall, it looks super cool. It is connected by a Technic long axle that connects to the base of the foundation for the rest of the set. So it does give the illusion that it's like flying and stuff like that, but the Snitch is definitely a must-have when it comes to Hogwarts icons. Now, next up here, we have a slew of different potions that you can build. There's actually a little area, it's like a basket sort of, right underneath Hedwig, behind the letter, that you can put all of these different potions, which looks super cool. So all in all, you have 4 different potions, and of course, we'll go through all of them. So throughout all 4 of these potions here, we have Wormwood, Gillyweed, Asphodel, and Polyjuice potion. Now, of course, the most iconic one, at least in my opinion, is going to be the Polyjuice potion. This, of course, is the one that transforms how you look. There's also another set currently in production that represents the Polyjuice potion and stuff like that. Now, for each of these, LEGO actually used a really cool technique. So you have these large cylinder pieces that wrap around a base, and on top you have a 4x4 transparent circle piece that actually closes in and locks everything. And then, of course, you have the top, which if you open, is sort of like the vial. So if you actually wanted to pretend to consume any of this, which I wouldn't recommend, you could sort of pop the vial like you would in the movie or like in real life and sort of down it like that, which I thought was super cool. So you do have the 4 potions here, which are really, really nice. Each of them does consist of different items inside the potion. So for example, one might have some of these 1x1 reddish brown plates. One of them might have transparent green for the Polyjuice potion, and then another one might have some vines such as the Gillyweed. So it was a really cool way to add some different variety in the set, and of course all of them are stickered. There are no printed items other than the letter, which we'll get into in just a second. Now, the next one, and this honestly wasn't my favorite, and I actually could have gone without, the little French fry. This looks like a McDonald's bag of French fries at the very bottom. This is actually the scarf. This is the house scarf. I chose to build the Gryffindor scarf. Of course, you can build any of the 4 houses, so you do have enough pieces to build either the Gryffindor. You could also build Slytherin, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw, whichever house you want to support. It does go on the very bottom of everything. Now, in my opinion, this is the only icon that I just really don't think is super cool. I definitely understand what LEGO was going for, but like I said, to me, it looks more like McDonald's French fries. Of course, that could just be me being American, so maybe it looks super cool to you guys, but overall, I'm not really a fan of it entirely, but nonetheless, still a really cool detail that was added in the set. Now, one of the last icons we have to talk about here is the chocolate frog. Now, this also goes hand in hand with the box itself, but we'll get into that in just a second. The frog is actually a really cool construction. Of course, it's definitely bigger than you would expect, but it uses brown pieces to colorize the actual frog itself. It does have 4 different legs, and of course, you have the sort of details on the front here with the mouth and then the eyeballs and stuff like that. Super cool addition, and something I actually wasn't really expecting too much in this set particularly, but it does look really cool. Getting on into the last icon here in the set, we have the chocolate frog card. Now, this was something that actually holds Dumbledore, which is one of the minifigures, which we will get to the minifigures last in today's video coming up very shortly. This thing looks absolutely amazing. So, of course, you have the tan archway that holds the minifigure itself, and actually a printed piece that says Albus Dumbledore. So that's actually, I believe, one of the only printed elements in the set, which is really cool. Of course, you have this beautiful purple backdrop, which represents the sort of pentagon styled card for the frog card, which is really cool. You have stars along the sides, and you can see here the construction of the back, basically connecting everything via hinge plate, which is really cool. Now, the very last icon to go over today is the acceptance letter. This is a 3-piece acceptance letter that is completely printed, brand new and exclusive to the set. You guys can pause it and read the letter. I won't do that necessarily in today's video, but of course you have the logo for Hogwarts, the body of the letter, and at the very bottom you do have the sign by Professor McGonagall, and of course Albus Dumbledore in his position at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This is a really cool letter here. It is connected by different joints, so it does kind of fold in 3 different places. You can actually connect it to the bottom of Hedwig's feet, which is nice, so it sort of drapes down and covers the entirety of everything. So with all the icons out of the way, before we wrap up here, I do want to quickly talk about the minifigures. Now, if you guys are familiar with the most recent line of LEGO Harry Potter, has these 20th anniversary iconic golden minifigures. It's very similar to what Ninjago is doing, and we get 3 of them in this set. So first up here we have Albus Dumbledore. Like I said before, he is supposed to be inside the chocolate frog box. He has beautiful detail. Seeing this guy in gold is really, really cool, and I hope Star Wars does something very similar to this, which I would cross my fingers for. Next, you have Professor McGonagall, a great minifigure, and it also is worth mentioning on the back of all these minifigures, it says 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter, which is super cool. And then last but not least, you have my favorite character of all time in anything. We have Rubeus Hagrid, the absolute GOAT. He is super cool. His body is really funky to me. I'm not too sure why. He looks like this sort of giant, which I guess he is in the movie. He does come with the gold umbrella, and like I said, everything else is going to be printed in that gold fashion, with some of the belt buckle and different robes and printing on the front being in that pink color, which does look really nice. So guys, that wraps up my review of the brand new Harry Potter Hogwarts icon set. Like I said, this is coming out September 2nd for $249.99. I think this is well worth the money, both as a diehard Harry Potter fan and a fan of just general display adult sets from LEGO. This is completely amazing. It comes with everything that you could possibly think of, and it opens up the potential for more Harry Potter stuff coming down the road. Maybe this is the start of a Ultimate Collector series for Harry Potter. Maybe we'll see some next. Guys, if you're fans of Harry Potter, let me know down below in the comments what you would like to see in the next icon set if LEGO does make a second one. I'm crossing my fingers. I think there's a lot of opportunity, and hopefully we'll get some more display stuff just like this. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did like the video, drop a like down below and make sure you subscribe as well. We got more stuff coming up very soon. Let me know what you guys think of the set, and yeah, I'll see you later. Take it easy. Peace.